Who is the biggest nutcase, Nicole or Leah? Vote now. Love Island USA Season 6. I'm watching this in the UK on itvx, and this is the 21st of August. And tonight we had some serious drama. And listen, I'm all about the drama when it comes to reality TV. The bombshells received a text really early in the morning, and they were told to wake the person up who they wanted to take on a date. So they chose Serena, Janae and Miguel. Now, I do not understand how they received a text, read the text out loud, and managed to wake people up without waking up the rest of the room. I am such a light sleeper. If somebody gets up to pee, if somebody rolls over, I'm awake. I'm alert. Do you know what I mean? If somebody received a text, I'm up. It absolutely baffles me how they managed to do all that and nobody woke up, but I don't know. Miguel was with Cass, and he was giving her all the lines as he does with every single thing in existence with a vagina. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, oh, maybe I should show my interest or whatever, and he's doing it, giving it all that. I was in the middle of making my breakfast when I seen this, and actually I questioned it. I thought, do I really want to eat after witnessing that? He is such a fucking skis bag. Like, it makes me feel sick to my stomach. Nigel was with Serena and he was trying to get a kiss, and she was like, no, I'm not just about to kiss you, I'm in a couple, blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was actually fair enough, because as Cordell said, he didn't give her a kiss to start off with, and she says she was a slow burner, so that wouldn't have been very fair. And Janae was stuck with Kenny, who gives me the absolute fucking heave. But I actually feel bad for him, because when he came into the house and he was saying that he was 24, and Janae's like, oh, you're a baby. And he's like, wrong answer. I thought, you're 27. You're 20 fucking 7. There's not that much in age gap. Telling somebody that's 24 that they're a baby when you're 27 is a fucking embarrassment, Janae. I'm just finished watching Love Island Australia, and there was a guy in that who was 27, and he was paired up with a girl who was 21, and he was saying, I'm getting ready to settle down and have kids and stuff, and you're 21 and you haven't had your fun. And I thought, right, okay, well, fair enough, I suppose. But 24 and 27, there's not that much of a difference, and she just fucking needs to get a grip of herself. So Cordell's obviously losing his shit, because he's woke up and Serena's not there, and he's like, oh, they must be on a date, they must be on a date. No shit. They only leave the house when they're going on a date. But he was freaking out, and then the next thing, the boat comes up, and they're all like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Have you never seen a boat before? Literally, like, I don't know if it's just because they're stuck in a house and there's no music, no TV, no books, and like fuck all to do, so they're just bored out their fucking skulls. So as soon as they see something quite basic, it's like, oh my god, it's a boat! Do you know what I mean? Like, have they never been on a boat before? And Miguel stood up and he was talking about the date, and he was like, what's the best date I've ever been on in terms of like location and what we were doing? And I was like, snorkeling in the middle of the ocean is the best date. I always get confused when I watch Love Island, because like the guys will take the girls up to the terrace and they'll make them pancakes, and the lasses will be like, oh, nobody's ever done this for me before. Nobody's ever done anything like this for me. And they go on dates and it's like, oh, I've never been on a date so amazing. And it's like, really? What have you been doing? So Serena pulled Cordell for a chat, and she says, oh, you know, like people kiss on dates and stuff, and we made out, and he was like freaking out, and she was pissing herself laughing, because she was getting him back, because when he went on a date with Nicole, he kissed her. So all the dates are done, it's all fine and well. Let's talk about this absolute fucking nutcase. She's still going off her head that Kendall stood behind the screen at the dance-off. She's in the beach house bitching about him, and she's like, oh, if he'd have stood there, even though I was talking to Miguel, that would have showed confidence, that would have been hot. No, it would have showed that he's under your thumb and he's just willing to do anything that you say, and it would not have been acceptable. When she was chatting to the girls, she says, I feel stupid because he wasn't standing there when the door opened, and they were trying to explain to her, because it was very, very basic, very, very simple to understand, that she's away speaking to Miguel, she's speaking to Miguel in front of him, and he's obviously hurt about it and he's trying to protect his heart. And she's like, oh, why are you defending him? Why are you defending him? And they're like, we're not defending him. I'd have been like, listen, Nicole, I'm defending him because you've hurt his feelings, you've made him feel like a dick, and he did the right thing to stand behind the screen, so shut the fuck up and grow up. At the very start of the show, Cass pulled Kendall for a chat and she seen them over the balcony and she was like, oh, he's speaking to Blondie tonight. Oh, I don't care. She's such a fucking brat. I don't know how the rest of the girls managed to stand in that room with her and listen to her bitch about Kendall and don't just turn around and fucking slap her in the face and say, wake the fuck up. You've been doing this to him right in front of his face and you're now annoyed because he's been pulled for a chat and somebody else has shown interest in him. Oh my god, I would not be able to control my anger around her. It's all fine and well being like, oh, guys have got guys' backs, girls have got girls' backs. But when she is blatantly standing there and she's clearly not right in the head and she's bitching about somebody whose feelings have been hurt and the lasses are like, oh, we're not defending him and all that, somebody needs to turn around and actually sit her down and say, actually fucking look at the situation and see what you've done because you're the one who's in the wrong here, not him. Right, okay, so now we're on to the drama. Rob pulled Leah for a chat and he's so manipulative, right? He took her for a chat and he's like, oh, you look nice, making her think, oh, we're going to have a nice chat. He thinks he'll look nice. He sat her down and he's like, look, you've been telling me lies. You've said that you didn't say anything bad to Andrea. You said that you haven't been saying anything bad about me, blah, 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 blah. So she pulled Liv over, which I liked because I never understand why they have these conversations on Love Island. And the person who they're talking about or the people that they're talking about is sitting right there and they don't just call them over. It drives me insane. Like when girls are talking to each other and they're saying, oh, he says I'm his number one, oh, he says I'm his number one. Okay, call him over. He's literally a couple of metres over there. What's the point in having this discussion? We're not going to get anywhere. So Liv came over and she was just straight with her and she says, I don't appreciate the fact that you're saying you took nothing to do with the vote when you voted for her. And they get into this big massive argument. And Leah obviously knew she was wrong because she was shouting and swearing for the start. And I don't know how Liv managed to sit there calm as fuck. She says to her, don't swear at me. But when she continued to swear and go off her head, you'd have been like, ah, look Leah, with this attitude and this anger and this swearing, you're making yourself look bad. Have a conversation with me or come back to me when you're calm. But Liv managed to sit there while she called her a bitch, she swore at her, she was just being nasty, and Liv still managed to stay calm. I don't know where she gets her energy from. I don't know if she meditates, I don't know if she carries crystals or what inner strength she's got. But she managed to sit there and she didn't fucking even floor that bitch. So basically everything Leah was saying was a lie because she's an absolute fucking nutcase, and I'm glad that Rob pulled her up on her shit. Now, I don't even like Rob. This is not me standing up for him whatsoever. But you could tell by the way that Leah was going off her head that she knew she was in the wrong. And everybody else stood around for a bit too long and didn't get involved because there was other people who were involved in the conversation or who he had came in and spoke to, and they just kind of sat back and watched it. Whereas if that had been me, I'd have been right up there. I'd have been like, ah, Leah, you're a fucking liar. Everything that you're saying, like you're a fucking psychopath. You're just making shit up as you go along. But people just want to sit back and not get involved. It wouldn't be me, I'd be right in there. So Serena went up and she says, I'm not going to sit back and watch them gang up on Leah. They weren't ganging up on her. She's the one who got Liv involved in the conversation. So they all walked away. Rob was like, look, my doors are closed. Like, basically, don't speak to me again. And that was all fine and well. But then it showed you a clip of next time. And he was like, oh, Leah, she's such a manipulator or whatever. And I was like, aye, okay, she is manipulative, but so is he. The two of them are as bad as each other, honestly. I think that they're a fucking perfect couple. I also said in the next 4 days there's going to be a casa. Is it just me? I feel as if Love Island USA's just started and they've got casa already. Like in the UK one, I feel as if casa's more towards the end. And I'm just finished Love Island Australia and they didn't even have one. It was bizarre. So aye, that was totally dramatic. Let me know who you think is the craziest bitch in the house and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!